Hello and welcome once again to Ignite Your Impact. My name is Jen Rhodes. I am, as always, seated in the passenger side of my best friend's ride.
She always somehow finds out how to get a smile. Someone commented the other day that I don't smile enough on these, so I think...
I'm like, tune into the YouTube channel with these episodes because I guarantee he's smiling in the first 20 seconds. Everything I do is to make him blush. Yeah. So if you tune into YouTube, go to Phenix Method on YouTube. He is always blushing.
And then moving on to the next point.
Yeah, keeping me on track.
Yes. So today's episode, it's going to be great.
I'm sorry.
You can't stop. It's going to be good.
I don't want no scrubs. Okay, got it. Okay, I'm good. Let's go.
I don't even know where to go now.
Let's do this.
I've lost my train of thought.
Why? You're ready. Let's go.
All right.
Let's go. Stop getting advice from people without receipts.
I thought you were going to come back with another line from another song.
I don't want no scrubs.
All right. So the show is stop getting
advice
from people without the receipts to prove it. So today we're going to walk through this, and Jen's going to share some points where, we're going to get really truthful. And I think anyone listening they like it straight. You guys just want to hear the truth, and we're going to do that. And not that we're going to shit on people, but we are going to go through a few categories of things that we see that could be holding you back. And you may fall into one of these. And if you do, that's okay, because I think we all have. I know I do in other industries that I try and get into. I think that I know what I'm doing, and I realize I don't. But we're going to walk through those and give you some solutions. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. I want to start with a story. So I was at a function, a business function not too long ago, and we're getting ready to go through the buffet. So I think anyone who's been to any type of meeting or any event, you get up, you can picture this. There's a long line. It's a long rectangle table. There's two sides on each side, and everyone's going down through the buffet line. And I'm with, there's 8 of us. So I'm with 7 other guys, and we're getting ready to go through there. And the guy in front of me says, I'm going to be a good boy today, and I'm going to have a salad. We all go, we get our food, we sit down. Now it's a rectangle table, and there's 4 on each side. I think you can probably picture this. And after we sit down, everyone starts talking about losing weight because they all got salads because he mentioned that they were going to be good. And they're all starting to give their own opinion on how to lose weight. And I don't know if that sounds familiar. I think this happens everywhere. But I know it happens to Jen and I everywhere we go. And I don't know if it's just because we're in the industry, but I think it's always on people's mind. I don't know.
I've always been hyper aware of it.
Yeah.
Just because we've been in the industry so long. So if I'm at the grocery store, if I'm at an event, people are like, what are you going to eat? I'm like, I'm going to eat food. By the way, when you were like, I'm going to start with a story about a buffet, I'm like, this is the sexiest story you've ever told.
Should have gotten her a snack before this.
I had a snack. I think it's because we're in the industry that we're hyper aware of it, but I think it's just bullshit talk, like the weather. I think people just...
That makes sense, yeah.
Spew to spew.
Yeah. And if you've done this, you've done it with us, no problem. I mean, we're not shitting on anyone. It just comes up all the time. I think it's just one of those topics, like you said, like the weather.
I do. Like if I'm at an event, I'm like, guys, I can't talk about this anymore. Change the subject right now.
Unless they are actually wanting information. Yeah. So that's one thing. So, and that's the point. That's the point of the story. So let me keep going with this. So eventually it does come around to me and someone says, hey, Matt, what
you look fit. What do you do?
No, it was like, what's your take on this? And, I give kind of an elevator, I guess, answer. I say, well, I'm really more about, losing fat and gaining muscle, which is why you see all of this protein on my plate. And I maybe haven't even had a salad I maybe had 5 salads in the last 2 years. And when I said that, it gets quiet for a moment and kind of everyone digests that in their head. And then they all go back around and telling about what they're doing or what they're getting ready to do or what their cousins, brothers, sisters saw on Instagram that someone's doing. And I'm just like, fuck, are you kidding me? I told you that rectangle table. I want everyone to picture that rectangle table of 8 of us sitting there. So 7 other people. And I'm in ridiculous shape. And these 7 other dudes are not in shape by any means, like at all. And they're all eating salads. And I'm eating barbecue. I'm eating all kinds of stuff. And I'm just like, how can you give out advice from someone on Instagram that you don't even know, or your personal stories that obviously have not worked? It's really like sitting at a table with a multimillionaire, and he gives you a couple business nuggets. And then you go on and tell him how you read on the internet how it can be done better. It's fucking insane. And that's what it was like. I want to point out that I don't mind these conversations because I was not at that table, and I don't go out looking for clients. Anyone who knows me is I am not sitting there looking for clients everywhere I go, because I want to work with a very specific person who wants that excellence in their life. And I'm not saying these guys didn't want that, but it's a different conversation. So I just didn't want anyone to think that I was trying to sell something at that table. It was just frustrating that they're taking advice from people who don't have receipts.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah. It's a funny story. I would like to go back to the talk about the buffet and the barbecue, but it's 100% accurate. And I think this is where people can get into trouble. And if you're listening, I think even our successful listeners can get into this trap. Like, all of the knowledge is out there. There's no secret sauce to the Phenix method. And I have 3 points to this, but you have to know that all of the knowledge is out there. Fitness isn't that hard, but you could fall into 3 categories.
Yeah. Before you jump into these 3 categories, 2 things. It's all out there online. Mm-hmm. You can figure this out just like we did. But there is a piece that we put in there that pulls it all together.
Yeah.
Because there's a reason why people
Efficiency.
There's a reason why people can pull in the workouts. They could get the nutrition. They could do all this stuff. But there's one piece missing, and it's that mindset piece.
Yeah.
It's that goal set piece that we put in there. But that's the one thing.
But it is. I guess we do have a sauce.
Yeah. But it's all out there.
Yeah.
There's nothing different that we do that no one else does.
Yeah.
The other thing is Jen's getting ready to go through these 3 points, and I know what her 3 points are, and I really want everyone to listen, because when Jen talks about this, do you fall into this category in fitness or any other area? We're gonna do fitness is what we're gonna talk about. But if you fall into one of these categories, you may be like, someone's gonna have a light bulb today on when she gets done talking about this and say, that's why I've been struggling. I didn't realize I was doing this. So
yeah. And obviously, fitness is the easiest parallel for us. It reaches the most of our listening group. But again, like you said, this could be in business. So 3 categories. Are we ready? Number 1, most people are successful, very successful in a couple of areas, but not in the fitness area. So they think they can do it on their own with just a little research or following some other person's workout on their phone. But successful in one area doesn't mean all areas. And that's not how you get into that bikini shape or that beach shape. So if you're writing your routines down in a spiral, or you're following some videos, or maybe you're doing a circuit, or I'm doing supersets, or I'm doing periodization, but you're missing that additional piece. Maybe you're missing the progression of the workouts. Maybe you're doing the same thing over and over. Maybe you do videos. I pick a different video each day of the week. But you're missing the periodization of the workouts. You're missing the nutrition. You're probably missing the mindset and the goal setting, real goal setting. When I start working with clients, I'm like, what are some goals? They're like, lose 20 pounds. I'm like, okay, I kind of got that. What else do you want out of your life? Real goal setting. Stretch your freaking brain. Just because you're successful in one area does not mean you will gain mastery in others. It's not an automatic ticket of entry. It's just not. Now, I'm not shitting on this, because this is great. You're doing better than 90% of the people out there. You're wiggling to wiggle. Awesome. But you could be so much more efficient. So that's category 1. Category 2. You can learn all of this, but this isn't your area of expertise. So you can learn all of this, but this isn't your area of expertise. You're too busy running a company, running a household, etc. You're too busy being successful at one thing. It has taken us thousands and thousands of hours of studying and perfecting so that we know exactly what to tweak to get the results with the least amount of effort. You can learn all of this, but you don't have time. And it's like if I was going to go on MSNBC to speak about investing. Have I learned some things? Absolutely. Have I spent a little time learning a little bit and I'm slightly successful? Sure. I've hired some people to help with my portfolio, but am I the expert? Nope. Nope. So I stay quiet in those circles and I take a shit ton of notes. I know where I fit in these arenas. If I'm with a fitness professional, somebody that has what I want, maybe not even a fitness professional, any of our owners groups, and I'm with somebody that has what I want, I stay as quiet and coachable as possible. I just want to absorb as much as I can. That's number 2. Number 3 is just because you have enough information doesn't mean you'll do it. And I'm going to try to do this without getting all preachy. Look at our healthcare industry. How many healthcare workers do you know that go more than 12 hours without a meal or a bottle of water? Do they know better? 100%. These are some of the smartest people on the planet when it comes to being healthy internally. And yet they are statistically some of the unhealthiest people with the unhealthiest habits. So even though you may have the information, if you don't put it to use or have someone that's keeping you accountable, it isn't worth anything.
Yeah, those 3 they're powerful. And I think that is where a lot of people fall into a trap. I loved them all. You're highly successful, and just because you're really good at this one thing, you think you can do everything and you can't, or you think you can do all the research and you just don't have time to do it, so it never gets done. And the third one is you may have it all, but you just haven't done it. I mean, right now, if you're not where you want to be, and if you don't know where you want to be, if you're a guy, go upstairs right now or downstairs or wherever it is, the bathroom, take off your shirt and you'll know whether you're there or not. And do you fall into one of these 3 categories? If so, that tells you what you need to change. I do want to jump back into how this related to my story, because this is probably the most prominent one out there, I would say. And it's people taking advice from someone who hasn't done it, or someone's just selling them something, but the videos or the workouts, which isn't, they're giving them 90%, but not that 10%. And that 10% means everything. I just want to hit on a little bit broader of a topic. And I mentioned that part about sitting at a table with a multi-millionaire and he gives you some advice, or she gives you some advice, and how you respond to that. Because as an example, I get hit up cold DMs daily. Basic.
Hey, Jen, how's it going?
Yeah, and I'll get to that in a minute. But it's from people wanting to help me, and it's always, if you're on YouTube, you can see it right now, 10x my online business. They always want to help me 10x my online business. And I genuinely try and keep an open mind to those things. It's
starting to get kinder than I am.
It's starting to get much more closed, but it's every day. And then I go do a little research on, anyone who sends me something, and I'm going to throw a number out here. 40% of them had gyms and they didn't make it through COVID. And the other 40 have never had a successful business. Now, I'm going to use your phrase that you used earlier. I'm not shitting on the people who went out of business during COVID. That was a rough time. Mm-hmm. But I am going to shit on the people who've never had a successful business, and they're going to help me 10x my business. It goes back to that. They don't have the receipts to prove it. And I said I'm going to go back to it because I don't cold DM anyone. I don't need business that bad. Yeah, I just don't do it that way. That's not how I get people. But these people are coming at me and don't have the receipts to prove it. So I guess the way I wanted to spin that is it's not just about fitness. If you're a business owner out there right now, and you've got some company coming to you saying how they're going to help you, how have they helped the other 20 people in front of you? Now, sometimes you got to give people a start that has some good ideas and work with them that are on their ground floor. We've done that with companies as well. But if they don't,
they've had a proven track record that we can.
Yeah,
they've got receipts on other things.
Yeah, on other things. We hired a marketing company that had receipts and another company that they built, so we knew they could do things for us. So I just kind of wanted to go back to that because I think people fall in those 3 categories. But at the end of the day, anyone coming to help you, you need to look at the receipts.
If you want fitness, mindset, nutrition, parenting, marriage advice, yeah, we can probably help you out with that. But we aren't going to be commenting on real estate, investments, stocks, because we just don't have the receipts to prove it. We are not experts. We
do have a pretty good damn circle of people that we can connect them with in those areas.
Oh my God, yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. I've got connections out the wazoo of who can help you get there faster, but I ain't your girl.
Yeah, the point is when you're getting advice from anyone, you've got to look at their past and even where they're going, not just at what they've been doing, but what they're building and where they're going. And that was the whole point of today's episode is look at those things to help you figure out what you want to do.
I love that. Guys, I hope today gave you some nuggets that you can use. Hopefully you don't spend too much time in any of those categories that we listed. If you need help getting out of those categories, shoot us a cold DM.
I'll take those cold DMs.
Like the episode, share it with somebody that you think might find value in it. Give us a 5-star review. Check us out on YouTube. Do all the things. And as always, we'll catch you next time, guys.